let's take a look at this kind of a problem in addition of fractions. We have 4/5 and 3/5. Well, the denominators are the same, so we know we just have to add the numerators. Well, 4 and 3 is 7, and the numerator is 5. However, what kind of a fraction is this? This is an improper fraction. And so we must be able to change the improper fraction to a whole or mixed number. And that's a skill that we learned. It's one of the skills. So to change the improper fraction into a whole or mixed number, we divide the bottom into the top. 5 goes into 7 one time, 5, and then I have 6, 7. I have 2 left over. So the answer to this problem is the mixed number 5 and 2/5. So when you're working with fractions and you get an answer, number 1, you have to make sure that answer is in its lowest name. Number 2, if it's in the form of an improper fraction, you have to put it in the form of either a whole or a mixed number. Let's take a look at the second problem. 7/8 and 5/8. Well, the denominators are the same, so we know we just add the numerators. 7 and 5 is 12. We have 12/8. Ah, okay. Improper fraction, so we have to change it. 8 goes into 12 one time, and then I have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 4 left over, so it's 1 and 4/8. Ah, but this is not in its lowest name. So, 1, now I know I can divide by 2, and I can divide by 2. 2 goes into 4. Ah, my bad. I could divide by 2. I could, but I want the biggest number. 4 goes into 4, and 4 will go into 8. So I divide by 4, and divide by 4. 4 goes into 4 one time, 4 goes into 8 2 times. So, this problem, when I got the answer, it was an improper fraction, so I changed it to a mixed number, but the mixed number had a fraction in it that was not in its lowest name, so then I had to reduce it, and so the final answer is 1 1/2. So there's 3 different steps in this problem. It's adding the fraction, changing the improper to a mixed number, and then, if the fraction in the mixed number is not in its lowest name, then putting it in its lowest name. Let's take a look at this problem. Well, here we have 3 mixed numbers. 3 mixed numbers. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that. So we have a mixed number, a proper fraction, and a mixed number. Well, it doesn't matter. We forget the whole numbers and we deal with the fractions first. Well, the denominators are all the same, so we know the denominator of our answer is going to be 8. We add the numerators. 3 and 7 is 10, and 10 plus 5 is 15. Okay, well now I know I have an improper fraction here, so I have to change it. Well, 8 will go into 15 one time, and then I have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 7 left over. 1 and 7/8. Okay, so if the improper fraction 15/8 becomes 1 and 7/8. Is 7/8 in its lowest name? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Okay, so now I add the whole numbers. 8 and 5. Well, 8 and 5 is 13. But I have 1 and 7/8 here. So it becomes 13 plus 1 and 7/8, which is 14 and 7/8. And that's how I would work the problem if it were with mixed numbers. Okay, well, I'm going to put a couple of practice problems up and give you a chance to do some work on your own here. Okay, so here are some problems, 2 problems for you. Put the DVD on pause, work the problems in your notebook, and then turn the DVD back on, and then we'll go over the problems. Okay, let's see how we did here. Problem 1, 11/15 and 7/15. The denominators are the same, so we know the denominator of the answer is going to be 15. And we know we add the numerators, so 11 and 7 is 18. Improper fraction, have to change it. 15 goes into 18 one time, 15, 16, 17, and 3 left over, so 1 and 3/15. Is this in its lowest name? No, because I can divide both sides by 3. 3 goes into 3 one time, 3 goes into 15 5 times. So my answer then is 1 and 1/5. By the way, you realize if you don't get correct answers and you're having difficulty, you can just hit the back button and you can go back over the lesson and review the lesson so you can get the technique down. All right, so we got an improper fraction, changed it to a mixed number, but then had to reduce the fraction in the mixed number to its lowest name. All right, let's take a look at number 2. We have a mixed number here. So we're just going to, for now, we're going to ignore the whole numbers and deal with the fraction. Well, they're all 12ths, so we know our denominator is going to be 12. So we add the numerators. 7 and 8 is 15. 15 and 9, well, I know 15 and 10 would be 25, so 15 and 9 would be one less, that's 24. Ah, well, improper fraction. So we've got to change it. 24 twelfths, so I divide 12 into 24. Well, 12 and 12 is 24. 12 will go into 24 2 times, and there's nothing left over. So this improper fraction, when I change it, becomes a whole number. Well, now I add the whole numbers. 2 and 8 is 10. 10 and 6 is 16. And then 16 and 2 is 18. And that is the correct answer. And as I said, if you're having difficulty with any of the practice exercises, you can always hit the back arrow and go and review the lesson again, which would be a very good thing to do because fractions, again, are the basis of all mathematical operations from here on in. Okay, good. Okay, so now we've been adding fractions. Up until now, we've been adding fractions where the denominators are the same. And we know if the denominators are the same, then we just add the numerators and we use the common denominator. But here, we have a fraction where the denominators are different. And so we cannot just add the numerators. The answer to this is not 4/6. You don't add this and add this. What we have to do is we have to rewrite the fractions so that they have exactly the same denominator. Well, we need a number that 4 goes into evenly, and the same number 2 can go into evenly. Well, since 4 has to go into the number evenly, the number cannot be less than 4, because 4 could not go into 1, 4 could not go into 2. So let's start with 4. We know 4 will go into 4 evenly. Will 2 go into 4 evenly? Yes, 2 will. Okay. So then what we have to do is we can use 3/4, and now we have to raise this fraction 1/2 to a name that has a denominator of 4. Well, we know that 2 times 2 would give me 4. So I multiply this by 2 to get 4, so I multiply this by 2. 1 times 2 would give me 2. Now I have changed both of these fractions so that they have the same denominator. And once they have the same denominator, well, we know what to do with a fraction when it has the same denominator. We add the numerators. 3 and 2 is 5/4. And we know, okay, improper fraction, we have to change this. 4 goes into 5 one time, and there's 1 left over. And then we say, well, is this in its lowest name? Yes, of course it is. Okay, so then the answer is 1 and 1/4. So if I add 3/4 and 1/2, I get 1 and 1/4. Let's take a look at a pizza that's divided like this. Well, the pizza is divided into fourths. So if I have 3/4, that's 1, 2, 3/4, and I have 1/2, and I know that 1/2 I can change it. I can change its name to 2/4. So if I have then 1 2/4, well then I get 1 whole and 1/4. So I didn't mean to confuse you with that. I hope it was helpful, but let's just review. If the denominators are different, we're going to have to raise the name of one of those fractions to a higher name to make the denominators the same. Well, in this case, we raised the name of 1/2 to 2/4. So we had them both the same, then we could add them, we got a mixed number, and then we converted it, we got an improper fraction, and then we converted it to a mixed number. Let's take a look at this problem, where we have 2/3 plus 5/6. Well, we know we can't add them, because the denominators are different. So we're going to have to raise one of these fractions to a higher name. So we're looking for a number that 6 goes into evenly and 3 goes into the same number evenly. Since 6 has to go into the number, let's start with 6. 6 will go into 6, we know. Will 3 go into 6? Yes, 3 will. So we will raise the name of 2/3 to a fraction that has a denominator of 6. And then what we say is, okay, well, 2 times what number gave me 6? Well, 2 times 2 gave me 6. So then I multiply up on top by 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Now I have changed both fractions so they have a denominator of 6. Since their denominators are the same, I add the numerators. 4 and 5 is 9. And I get 9/6. Now I know 9/6 is not in its lowest name. So I have to take this improper fraction and make it into a whole number, or a mixed number. So I divide 6 into 9, goes 1 time, and I have 3 left over, so I get 1 3/6. And then I say to myself, okay, now, is 3/6 in its lowest name? And no, it is not, because I can divide 3 by 3 and I can divide 6 by 3. So I get 1, and 3 goes into 3 1 time, and 3 goes into 6 2 times. So I get 1 1/2 as my answer.